Hey, welcome back. This is Chesh here. And this is Coops. Coops, you want to do the thing? Do the thing!
No, I didn't know if you were going to introduce me or if you were just going to introduce us both.
I figured I would try something normal and let you introduce yourself so I don't sound like the guy in charge, because let's face it.
I'm not used to the freedom.
Yeah.
I'm not used to the freedom.
Have the freedoms.
I am Coops. I am Coops from the whole box and dice. I'm going to introduce Chesh in reverse now. And with me tonight is the lovely Chesh from Cheshire Plays Game.
It's not ego, it's charisma.
I'm in charge. Oh, hail Coops.
All hail King Koopa.
Well, hang on, I don't know if I want to be a king just yet, but we can build up to that. We will work out the monarchy as we progress through the podcast.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. So we are MTGA AUStream, or better known at the moment as AUStream, because we're changing things up, and we've got lots and lots of stuff to talk about. I guess the first thing we should go into is the community Corkboard, and I'm going to flash up an image of what's going on. So, AUStream will be at PAXAUS, or at least 3 of the 4. So it'll be myself, Caitlin, and of course Coops from the whole box and dice. We will be doing a couple of things. The first one is the countdown to Magic the Gathering's 25th anniversary. So this is a quiz style panel with obviously myself, Jamie Lawrence from Good Games, Pierce from the whole box and dice. Sorry Coops, I did put you down as Pierce Cooper.
That's right.
Alice.
First name. I'm not like Madonna and Cher and.
I wish I was, because then I'd be rich.
There is that.
Yeah. Alice Clark, who is a freelance journalist and an amazing Commander player. She's amazing. And we have the amazing Caitlin Gaganti as well from Modern Gamers, and of course MTGO AUStream. That is proudly supported by Wizards of the Coast, Good Games, Retail, and of course PAX Australia, who's given us some passes to come. Just while I've got this image, I will tell you that we're doing a community special event. What this is a select invite-only draft on the Friday. So, well, at this stage on the Friday, I'm not going to give times just in case things change. They shouldn't, but Saturday's going to change up a little bit. But Friday in the morning we've got IXALAN. In the afternoon we have Conspiracy 2. Both provided by Wizards, with event space provided by Good Games and PAX, so thank you to all 3 of those. On the Saturday we have some spell slinging in the morning from 10. So we have some spell slinging from 10. And Coops, do you want to talk about spell slinging for a sec?
Yeah, of course. I love spell slinging. It's an awesome way to interact with the community, and it's where we encourage you to bring along your decks of any format. We should have a couple of testers there if you've come unprepared or you forget your stuff, but bring your new janky standard deck featuring pirates and dinosaurs, or don't bring your best legacy burn deck. I don't want to live in that world. But
bring your riddle form deck. Yep.
Yes, just bring the decks that you enjoy playing most. It can be Doran Siege Tower Commander for all I care. Just if you love it, I want to see it. I want to play against it. I know the rest of us do, and it's just an awesome time where we get to play some cool decks, check out some super secret sneaky tech, and just have an awesome time playing Magic and just getting to know each other and a bit of time to just interact with all of you. So it's a very, very cool time, and it's something that I love doing. Had an awesome time doing it at Supernova earlier this year.
Yeah, so that's on the Saturday. In the afternoon on the Saturday, we'll be leaving that area and leaving somebody else behind to man it for us, or woman it, or person it.
Woman it, yeah.
Exactly. So October the 28th at 2 p.m. in the Fruit Bat Theatre. Now, this is subject to change. This time may change because we have some other stuff that we're doing in conjunction with Good Games.
Yep.
But at this point, that is when the panel that I was just talking about is going to be on. Then Sunday we're doing some casual Commander in the morning, which should go through most of the day, I believe. And then in the afternoon we've got, thanks to Wizards of the Coast, the Betrayal at Baldur's Gate game that we will be showing off for them and doing some demos with, thanks to Des from GoTo.game, the same place I now write as well, because he is our board games specialist. So we'll have 4 sessions of that going throughout the day, as well as some arch enemy, Nico Bolas.
Yeah, that's super fun. You're at the mercy of the arch enemy cards, and they are beautiful. The schemes are just the most unfair things you'll ever come across in a game of Magic, so I love them. They're horrible.
Unfair and yet fair. So we'll be doing that, and that'll be amazing. Myself, I will also be helping out on gunslinging, along with some other names that have yet to be confirmed. You'll have to stay tuned for that, because we're in some talks with some people, but they haven't confirmed yet. So everyone's subject to availability because it's PAX and they're all streamers and stuff. So fingers crossed. And one of those, of course, is my co-host from Commander the Gathering, Bradley Diyoshi. So Diyoshi's a dear friend to us, and a great mate, as they say here in the Aussie lands where everything will kill you. And I think that's all I need to rant for PAX. I know that myself and Coops will have some special videos going up, probably over the next couple of weeks, talking about what we're going to be doing, or something fun or funny. I don't know what we've got planned. Stuff.
Bit of everything.
But I just want to throw the huge shout out, of course, to Good Games for getting us the event area to do this in. And of course, Wizards of the Coast for supplying a little bit of product so that we can have a great time with our community. So, much love.
It is very cool.
Speaking of much love, Community Corkboard, we'll move on to Around the Tubes. So, YouTube stuff we love. And you wanted to talk about something in particular with some fellas from America.
Yeah, there's heaps of cool stuff happening. I think every week. I shouldn't say there's some cool stuff happening, because there's always cool stuff happening on the interwebs. But there's a couple of guys over in the States who I've been watching since day one. They do magic and comedy that are a really cool blend of it. But they actually are super intelligent guys as well. They're not just there to goof around. And they've partnered up with Quiet Speculation. So it's Jake and Joel Magic, and you can check them out on all their socials. But for those of you who are not familiar with Quiet Spec, it's an MTG finance focused website. Yep. So they very much look into Perfect Time Now. They look at upcoming set previews, and they'll do look at cards that are worth purchasing, cards that are going to be relevant in standard based on rotation, and things they're going to see Commander play. Does anything become a staple in a modern deck? And whilst there is a subscription fee, I know Jake and Joel are doing a couple of videos free of charge as like a, hey, this is kind of what you get from Quiet Spec at the moment. So check that stuff out, because if you are interested in finance, which me personally, I'm a huge MTG finance fan, because the secondary market is just very intriguing for me. It's really cool to get some professional insight on some guys and girls that spend their whole time working out that, when Chandra was $20, that was an absolute buy, and they're now laughing that they're selling it for 50 each. So, yeah, it's some really cool stuff, and I'm sure you've seen the prices. If you're checking out IXALAN, you've got Carnage Tyrants about $1 billion at the moment. So if you can get that little insider trading, it can save you a whole bunch of cash, which is always nice as well. So cool guys, Jake and Joel Magic, and Quiet Speculation, two very cool MTG related sites out there.
So in combination this is on the Twitch, and that's Total MTG. So twitch.tv/Total MTG. Total MTG is like 19 or 18 follows away or subs away from hitting that 1,000 goal. So
cool.
Go and do that, because he's a lovely dude. He hosts some of my stuff now and again, which makes me all warm and fuzzy. And I dropped on his stream this afternoon just to check him out while I was doing stuff, and he was playing a sweet blue-white tokens monument deck. Yeah. So I was like, this is a draft. Because I've been all about the draft lately. So the thing is that he has partnered up with Mana Traders. So he's gotten a sponsor. Mad props. That's really cool to see. And it means that he gets to bring you the purple. He gets to bring you all the decks that you want to see. So, I mean, that's really cool. Also, jump on Twitter. Cool. And at him and just say, you are Riddle Form. I want to see you are Riddle Form. Let's try and force him into building that deck. It's a great deck.
Do it.
I'm going to build it.
Matt is a dear friend of ours, and we don't want to aggravate him like that. No, it's really cool. If you guys and girls haven't seen what it is, if you play MTGO, you can actually rent cards like on a monthly basis. They got different subscription levels, and you get like a 10% or 8% discount by using Matt's channel link through Total MTG, and that's a really awesome way that, especially with the new set coming out, you can get your hands on some of those cards. You know, maybe you want to try out Jace as a Planeswalker, or maybe you want to play Death and Taxes or whatever it is, and it's a really cool way that you can temporarily borrow the cards and try out new decks before committing to digital or paper purchases. So I'm sure it helps Matt out as well when you use his referral code, so it just keeps the love going all round, which is very nice.
Keep that love train blowing.
Yeah, Matt's an awesome dude. He's like such a positive person as well. He's a really nice man. So
yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
By the way, just to let you know, the video looks pretty. Our video's looking pretty today. I just went and checked the Twitch, so hi Twitch. Swaps. Back, wrong key, that key.
Yeah,
everyone can hear me tabbing.
Like pushing buttons during the podcast.
Yes, I did. Okay, so I guess news and reviews is the next one we want to talk about. So IXALAN's just dropped. Yay! This Friday, IXALAN drops physical product for us here in Australia, at least for me in Melbourne, not the rest of Australia. I have a public holiday.
Oh.
So I'm going to be streaming.
Isn't it long weekend?
It is for us, yeah. Starting on Friday.
For us as well.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Grand final.
Special after more.
Oh, I thought we were. But I'm going to be streaming.
On Monday. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be streaming on Friday from probably about 1 p.m. all the way through to probably about like 10 or 11 at night.
Bad man.
Probably going to be joined by my partner Dana, like I was last night. Last night, yes, when I stomped through with my 3-0 dinos. So keep an eye out for that over at twitch.tv/Cheshire Plays Games. But we want to talk a little bit about the set. Now, I had some not so great experiences in solo pre-release sealed, and I had an amazing experience in Two-Headed Giant. Coops, what are your thoughts on sealed IXALAN at this point?
I
guess
love it.
Hot take.
Yeah, I love it. I love the sealed environment. I'm terrified for the draft environment, but the sealed environment looks super fun. No, it doesn't look super fun. It was super fun. Having like the 6 packs, which obviously is very different to draft, and being able to build those decks based on those PR kits, that was a really enjoyable experience. I did Two-Headed Giant as well on the Sunday. That was just about the most fun ever, combining 2 pre-release packs for just 2 super decks. It's very interesting. Mark Rosewater came out and said that he didn't want to use the word dumbed down, but they've made IXALAN a little bit more accessible as an entry point for new players in terms of the mechanics, and I think that's very much reflected in the draft and limited environments, that the mechanics are a lot simpler to build, to get your head around. It probably makes them a bit easier to fit into multiple decks as well. So I know there are some people that are a little bit it's been simplified a little, which hurts the complexity, but it's an awesome gateway for new players to get involved. And if you can beat face with giant dinosaurs, you're having a good time. So I very much enjoyed where IXALAN limited and sealed and draft is at the moment.
I'll agree with that last part for sure.
It's they're like, I don't know,
So I found the problem with this particular set is the lack of decent removal. Everything seemed to come down to combat tricks and just playing dinosaurs. So Friday nights, which is recorded here, you can actually check it out in the VODs. I wouldn't, it's terrible, because we just let the camera run. But for me, I had major troubles even trying to build my deck. I just looked at my pool and I went, I've got 3 rare lands. What do I do with that? And that is the curse of sealed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could have probably pulled a 4-color maybe, but no, not really. But the removal itself also didn't feel great. So the only thing in white has that destroyer creature with 4 power or more, and it's that's great against dinosaurs, but not so great against anything else except for maybe merfolk. But if you're a good merfolk player, you're going to keep it down as much as possible and just ramp in and just smash your opponent's face every turn. Especially with the 4 cost, what is it, a 3/2 unblockable, and just chuck some counters on that and just go nuts. But other than that, I found, like, even when we drafted last night, we drafted Dinos. Yeah, Dinos was draft 1, and we went 3-0. Merfolk was draft 2, and we went 1-2, because we just couldn't get any finishes in the Merfolk deck. So it's almost like the Merfolk is either you're having to try and smash face.
Yeah. But it's like... But like I agree 100% with what you're saying. Like 100%, the dinosaurs are a grossly overpowered, mechanic. Not a mechanic, like a just tribe, just like a thing that you can do. And I would have loved to see the dinosaurs in Amonkhet and even just like Kaladesh maybe. Like I would have loved to see them in a 2-drop super fast format, because you would have had that stark contrast between those 2-drops that really just smash face and by turn 4 or 5 almost have the game won, and then you have these huge dinosaurs which then really swing it back the other way, and all your 2 and 3 value drops you're no longer getting the value from anymore. But I agree 100% with what you're saying, that it's really hard when you feel like you're in a good position, and then on turns 5, 6, and 7 they drop unanswerable threats almost, and you're kind of like, well, I can't punch through anymore. I also have to keep blockers up because I'm going to get run over, and that feels bad. So, yeah, like, that's why I worry about draft. I worry about people getting stuck trying to draft tribal, especially dinosaurs, and 2 or 3 players at the pod coming up with subpar decks because they weren't reading the signals and realizing that dinosaurs is not viable, but you also can't let someone just run away with the dino deck at the table. Like, it's double-edged, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, the one thing that I noticed, like, the biggest problem that I found, and my hair's going a bit crazy, the biggest problem that I found with draft was when we were drafting Merfolk, we were very open for Merfolk, but there wasn't enough stuff to come through to make Merfolk actually good. Because a lot of the really good stuff is uncommon and rare, and it's like, feels like a really weird oversight for Wizards to make, because, like, and they say it themselves, like, they focus on limited and standard. They're the 2 things that they really want to focus on. But with Merfolks, it feels like they focused a lot more on standard. But in limited, it's a lot harder to build an actual cohesive deck without having to dip into something else as well, which is really weird.
Unless you get the bombs.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those kind of tribally cards for Merfolk that are really like, if you've got a Merfolk, like, put a +1/+1 counter on another creature and then one on a Merfolk. I'm like, but then there's a lot of Merfolk that give bonuses to Merfolk or get flying because of Merfolk, or put a +1/+1 counter on a Merfolk, and it's like, well, what exactly are you trying to tell me to do here? Are you trying to tell me that I should be drafting a full Merfolk deck? Or am I supposed to be trying to go Merfolk with finishes from Dinos, but somebody else is now in Dinos because Merfolk's already dried up for them because I'm taking all the Merfolk, and then I can't get a finisher, and then I'm relying on that last pack to try and find a finisher that never comes, and then I'm screwed. Whereas if I just go, I'm just going to force Dinos, which is what we did in the first one. We saw... What did we see? I can't remember what the first card we saw was, but I just went, no, we'll just go Dinos, because there wasn't anything good in the rare slot. And we 3-0'd with, big, stupid 5-cost, 5/5 tramply dinosaurs with cobbled wings.
Yep. Yeah, that's a super viable strategy. There's a common 5 mana, 4 generic, 1 red, 5/5 trample haste. That's a common. That's a common dinosaur that has trample and haste, 5 mana, 5/5. Like, people used to take Colossopede in the last draft environment, and that was a 5/5 for 5 vanilla. This is a 5 for 5 trample haste. Like, it's amazing how infinitely better the curve of dinosaurs are comparative to Merfolk. And there's like 3 things that early game help out dinosaurs. There's the Caller, there's the Huntmaster, and there's the Drover. And they either reduce the cost, or they get buffed, or they tap for an extra mana. Like, it seems like you feels bad when you build a competitive deck, but you get beaten out just due to giant dinos. But I guess that's life.
Pretty much. I mean, and like, when it gets up to 5 slots for the dinosaurs, like, there's at least 3, if not, I think 4 viable options. Like, there's the 4/4 that can block 2 creatures, the Ceratops.
Yep.
There's the Suns
4/4 that gets +1/+1
I didn't even think
counter.
of that. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
There's Suns something or other, the big red green 3 I think it's a 4/4 that comes in with a 3/3.
Oh,
and gives all your other
Regisaur Alpha. 5
Alpha.
mana 4/4 that comes in with a 3/3. All your other dinos have haste.
Yep, and then there's an uncommon one that's a 5/5 for 5. It's red, green, 3, and it's just a 5/5 for 5 with trample. And it's just like
some crazy stuff.
Look at all this great mid-rangey / late gamey stuff for dinosaurs, but there's not really anything like that for Merfolk unless you count like all of their 4-cost ones, which are generally 2/3s or 3/3s or 3/2s that are just easy to block and kill. It's like I have no walls, I have no way, and plus blue and green, like you've got pounce, but dinosaurs are taking pounce as soon as they see it. I know I am.
Yeah, of course.
And there's, I think, like, it just seems to me like Merfolk might actually be the weakest tribe for draft.
Yeah.
Unless you get a good pool. Because vampires is actually surprisingly good as long as you get the tokens. But you're relying on token synergy.
You still have to punch through, though. Like, that's the thing. All those decks still have to find a way after turn 6 or turn 5 to actually get past the dinosaurs, you know? I feel like cards like Essence Scatter would have been good cards, you know, in this set. Like, you know, if the black had a bit more removal, if the blue had a bit more counter magic, especially counter creature spell, you know, I feel like those other tribes could dip into some of that and they'd be a bit more competitive, but, you know.
Well, that's
I don't know.
Like, give me...
Slippery slope.
Don't give me a 2 blue, 1 colorless counter spell, you know? Don't give me cancel as my counter spell in this set. Like, that's just... Not when you've got big, beefy dinosaurs. You need to give me an Essence Scatter. Like, why wasn't Essence Scatter in this set instead of the last set? Like, that just... No.
Yeah. But, like, I guess you can't have it always both ways, like, you know.
But I want it both ways.
I know. People will start finding value, though. Like, as you said, like, vampires are good if you can go wide. Merfolk, if you pull the right stuff, are a very difficult deck. But I think people just have to... I think dinosaurs are so easy at the moment, which is why they're winning. But I think people start finding chinks in that armor as the format gets more matured and more developed. And they'll start realizing, like, yes, there's nothing you can do to stop the bomb dinosaur deck, but the B- C+ deck, this is where it's vulnerable and this is how you beat it, kind of thing. So I think people will start finding responses for it.
What was it that I said last night after I went that 3-0? This is probably like the easiest draft I've done in like 2 seasons. Like I haven't had a qualifier point in 2 seasons, and now I have a qualifier point and won 6 packs because I drafted dinos, turned my dudes sideways, and they just went.
Good strategy.
Yeah,
it's good strat.
It works. So moving on from that. Oh yeah, so
sorry, I was just going to say before we just move on, just with the fun that we did have playing Two-Headed Giant though, and I have no idea if this is in the works or not, and anyone who's following the MTG Arena news knows that Chesh and I are super pumped for when Arena comes out. It would be awesome to see some kind of Two-Headed Giant mode, whether it's online or probably not local, has to be online kind of thing, but whether it's randomly paired or even if it's just you sign up together. It's such a fun format. It's such a fun way to play the game. It's like, it's casual but also very competitive. You get such an awesome, cool pool of cards to play with, and I think it's we both agreed was the most fun we had over the weekend, regardless of whether we did well or not.
Here's my thing, dear Wizards, please give me Two-Headed Giant in MTGA. Okay, because you tried it in Duels, and your third party that made the game
they
screwed it up really badly. As you might... Was that you and me? We were going to do a stream, and at one point...
Not for Duels, no.
No, it must have been somebody else. But I was going to do a stream with somebody. It might have been Des, actually. I don't remember. Oh, no, it was with Brad. Brad and I were going to do it, and Jules is... Like, the way it was built was not with Two-Headed Giant in mind. It put us on separate teams.
Oh, right.
But it didn't do sealed, it only did, like, constructed Two-Headed Giant. It's like, this is just don't do it that way. Like, you've learned your lesson. Please, just give me Two-Headed Giant sealed. I love you forever. Coops and I, when we get in, if you've got it, we'll stream for 8 hours flat. Like...
That's not true. That's not true at all. I need to take breaks. I need to break.
With breaks, but I mean like a continuous block of time with breaks. That's because you need to pee and stuff. But you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, I'd even take the day off work to do it. I'd just be like, oh, two-headed giant. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do when it comes to casual Magic. Like, let me in.
Yeah. I tell you what though, I don't know if you saw this, in the pre-release kits, there was a little fold-out that was like, hey, this is the best way you should build your deck. And I just have a small grind.
There was. I didn't even look at mine.
Yeah, there was. It was like a little treasure map, right? And then on the back of it, it had some like how to play sealed, right? And I'm a very positive person, right? So, as you know, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky guy. But there was something on the back that kind of triggered me, and people will appreciate this if they've ever watched anything I do. It said the optimum land count for a sealed game was 17 to 18 lands. And let me just say that if you're new to Magic, and I read that and I was like, I looked at my first deck of the pre-release weekend. I was running 13 lands in that one, and I was like, I'm not going to play. How
do you even win running 13 lands?
Yeah, and 4-0, right? Because when you're like turns 10 or something, you draw lands for 3 turns. I'm drawing straight gas. I'm drawing nothing but gas. Explore is so broken in Limited.
But I don't understand how. Like, your mana curve must be so damn low.
No.
So damn low.
In Amonkhet, I played 14 lands and played 2 scale behemoth 7-drop hexproofers, and I was laughing. Like, you don't sweat it, guys. Play stuff that digs like Explore. You don't need to run 18 lands in a deck. Shout out to Sean, if you were listening. I'm sure he'll be having a mental breakdown.
Oh, he will.
Every time we play MTGO, he's like, more lands, and I'm like, less lands, more gas. But, I understand maybe in the Dino deck you want to play a few lands, especially if you're playing 3 colors, but if you're playing like Pirates or Vampires or even Merfolk, you get away with like a nice 12, 13, 14 lander. Live the dream. Live the dream. That's all I wanted to say. I just remembered that.
You make me sick.
Listen up, Wizards. Print it. 12 lands. 13 if you're running 3 colors max. The rest is all gas.
I don't even know how you win games. I don't understand.
Yeah. Check out my record. Look up my DCI number. It's all legit. You can see it all.
Speaking of, I had to get my my DCI account unlocked because I couldn't remember my details, and apparently it was to an old email address from my previous Bizzo. And it came out that apparently, believe it or not, there's no history on my account before 2005.
Oh, that sucks.
Which is weird, because I've been playing this game ever since DCI was created. And so my previous history, unless it maybe doesn't show, because I think that's when they brought in Planeswalker points and got rid of the original DCI. And I'm thinking that that's why it's there. But I'm going to have to remind myself to ask Will the next time I see him and see if he knows, because that's a lot of rich history from back in Mike and Mel's card shop in Kelvin Grove, and playing out of a PCYC before they had their store, and helping them out run tournaments of PTQs. Yeah. It's just a little bit of information and tidbit. Although my DCI number doesn't get used as nearly as much as it probably should, because I'm playing a lot of MTGO. So that's really weird. I just don't understand why they had to separate the church and state when it comes to physical to online.
But I think they're bringing it all together for MTG Arena. I think you'll see a lot more synergy, I feel. Play 12 lands.
Yeah.
12 lands.
Why not? So last thing on our agenda is Dragon Ball Super Set 2?
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. We are ramping into the next set, and I'm kind of terrified because the power creep looks...
It's real.
It's real is an unfair use of the word real. It's nuts.
I've heard on the grapevine that I should sell my Broly promos now while they're still high.
Yeah. I've seen them going for $100 foil, I feel like if you can get $100 foil for that card, you're laughing.
Oh, I've only got non-foils left.
Okay, that sucks. Well, if it doesn't suck, they're probably still like $50 each or $60.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it seems crazy. It's hard to tell, like power creep. It's hard to define it and know for sure until you see the cards in their entirety. But yeah, it looks intense. But they're doing like commons and uncommons and rares and secret rares, and there's going to be special rares, but they're also going to be including secret rares in the new set.
Yes.
So similar to how Pokemon do it, there's going to be like alternate arts potentially, or like full holos or whatever twist they want to put on it. So that'll be pretty exciting as well, I think.
I've had interesting things around the look of the SPRs mixed with the look of the rares, like a double foil card. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, like where the character itself is the etched foil and the background's the rare foil with bits of etched foil.
Oh, cool. Okay,
that sounds really
nice.
amazing. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if I can trust people because they're people from America and they're not people I play with, and I generally don't like to go off information from people I don't play with because you can't see if they're lying to you. Because people have tells. Play poker, people have tells. That is the best way for you to tackle Magic, is go and play some poker. Trust me. But the set's shaping up to be like a bit weird. Like it might be just too power creepy. And if it is, that means that set one's prices are just going to plummet.
I don't know if it's going to be that drastic. I think it's more likely that there's going to be some cards that are like clear auto includes into some existing archetypes. I guess you've got to remember, like with Dragon Ball, it's a little bit different to Magic in like they've kind of set the power level in the first set. Like a 4-drop, the best you get for 4 is like 20k double strike, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they can print a 4-drop 40k double strike. Like they can't do that because that would actually destroy the game. So they have kind of locked themselves in somewhat with the power, but like you said, some of the cards look super busted already, so let's see where they actually live. But yeah, it'd be cool if the promos do kind of get phased out, though, because I know, like I'm fortunate enough that I'm somewhat okay at this game to the point where I can win a few promos. Some of my mates don't manage to top 8 at our events and they don't get promos, and it just locks them out further from the game if they can't compete on the decks that are, blinged out with 4 promos. So I do hope for that sake that the power level kind of evens out the impact those promo cards have.
Sorry about that.
That's right. No, I was just saying, like, I hope promos kind of get phased out so the level of play is more even. It's fairer for everyone.
It's one of the things that I've been saying forever and a day is like, don't get me wrong, like I've made a fair chunk of cash off sinking money to tournaments and then winning promos and then selling the promos back to the community, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, like, it makes things a bit awkward when you really want X card or X promo and you just can't get it because it just no longer exists. Like, it's just too hard to find. Sorry, my system is dinging. Bad.
But yeah, like it's a cool time, and like I've just put up I just did a video for Dragon Ball, so I just did 4-color Gohan, so just something very random. So if you are a fan of the Dragon Ball and you're looking for a new deck, don't play that because it's a horrible deck. But if you're looking for a bit of fun, play the deck because it's absolutely nuts. It's definitely not competitive, but it also kind of is competitive in the most memey and frustrating mono blue control way for you Magic players out there. So it's good fun. It's good fun.
I think I think we'll get to the end of the show, and that is us cracking a pack of Dragons of Tarkir. Now this is from Big Bad Kaiju, Jamie from Sydney. He's a dear friend. I am going to pop up the card viewer. It already has a card on it, just so I know where the actual card viewer is, which is between myself and the Coops.
Invocation!
Dude, it's dragons.
No, but is the placeholder still an invocation?
No, this one's an ISFL Regent. So what we'll do is we'll just make sure that we put everything up the other way and go from there. Alright, so first card is Impact Tremors. This is an enchantment for 1 red and 1 colorless. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent. Man, that would have been great for 2 HG.
Yeah, just like triggering Enrage.
Yeah, would have been crap in draft. Okay, so next one is Student of the Ojutai, or Ojutai, Student of Ojutai. This is 1 white and 3 colours for a 2/4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you gain 2 life. It's a 2/4. It's a wall for 4. If you're playing lots of non-creature spells, then it's great.
Yep.
Which you're probably in this when this set was around. I think was still when PAXAUS was pretty big, so it's alright. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible card. Definitely not a pack one, pick one. We have next a Kolaghan Skirmisher. This is 1 black and 1 colours. It has dash for 1 black and 2 colours for a 2/2 human warrior. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything. It's just dash for 2. It's a bear.
I like dash though.
Yeah, and it's a bear dash, so you know it's not that bad. 3 for a 2/2 with dash is fine. In the aggro deck that was around in that time, which I think there was like a really, really super aggro red-black from memory. So it's fine. Next one up is Kolaghan Stormsinger. I haven't actually seen this card before. So this is 1 red for a haste Megamorph 1 red. When it's turned face up, target creature gains haste until the end of turn. It's a 1/1. So it's a Megamorph for 1. So what, for a 2 mana investment it becomes a 2/2 with haste and gives something else haste.
I like that.
Sounds
cool.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, seems good.
Next one. Come on little pony, you can do it.
Can't do it. It's running too many lands.
It's like, what are you doing, mate? It's an Anticipate. How ironic.
How ironic.
Let me just...
Great card, I missed that card.
See what's going on here. There we go. No? It's like, nah, sorry, buddy, can't read it. Can't read it. There we go. Alright. So, Anticipate, I think you should all know what this is by now, but this is an instant.
Artwork.
It is the best artwork for an Anticipate. I want 4 in foil. It's that pretty. 1 blue, 1 colours, instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Solid. It's just a solid card.
Yeah.
Like, there was no reason not to draft it.
Nope. If you're in blue, card selection is ace.
Exactly. The next one is a Sandstep Scavenger for 4 colours and 1 green. This is a Hound Scout creature. That's terrible typing. Especially being for 5 for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, bolstered 2. That's just garbage. Okay. It's just, I don't like it at all. Thoughts?
Is it? Yeah, I guess like 5. Yeah, probably for 5. For 4, at least there's kind of some value.
For 4, it's not bad, but for 5, that's terrible.
Seems bad. I agree.
Exactly. Speaking of value, we have a Twin Bolt. 1 red, 1 colourless for an instant. Deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and or players. Solid 2 for 2 damage. It's just a solid removal.
Like we got Lightning Strike back now in Standard. I'd love to see something like Twin Bolt as well. You know, just that, Twin Bolt would have been really interesting in this format. With the whole Enrage mechanic as well for dinos. I would have liked to see a card like Twin Bolt exist.
Exactly. Alright, next card is Tygam's Strike. This is 1 blue and 3 colours for a sorcery. Target creature gets +2/+0, and it can't be blocked. It has Rebound, which means that if you cast a spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. That sounds real good. Like in some sort of aggressive deck, that sounds real good.
Even just anything that you can get double value from, like +2 and can't be blocked is solid already, but the fact that you get to, like, on some of the big flyers that are in this set, swing twice with that seems real good value.
Exactly. Come on, you can do it. It's not liking me today, that's for sure. The resolution is just horrendous. There we go. Okay, so we've got a zombie djinn. So this is Silumgar Butcher for 4 colours and 1 black. It has exploit, so when it enters the battlefield you can sacrifice a creature. When it does exploit a creature, target creature gets -3/-3 until the end of turn, and it's a 3/3. Back in the day, in this period, I believe that was actually pretty solid removal. Like, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I do like any kind of creature that comes in and allows you to remove something else. You know, yes, it does cost you something, but you're kind of swapping one of your bodies, so this is kind of cool. Like, after combat, you know, if you've swung in and dealt some damage, you can then sack a creature that's still got a bit of damage left on it, or even just one of your smaller creatures, and finish off something bigger that your opponent's chumped. So I do like that with cards like the Butcher.
Yeah, it just sounds like it was real solid back in the day.
Yep.
It's really not liking me today. The amount of time we're spending here trying to get the card reader to work properly. So we have an Evolving Wilds, of course. So tap, sacrifice Evolving Wilds, search library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped. Just good fixing.
Pretty hard as well, this one.
And it keeps getting reprinted. So, yeah, speaking of that, next card. Okay, so Scion of Ugin. This is a Dragon Spirit, a 4/4 uncommon for 6 mana, and it is flying.
Seems expensive, but flyers just win, right? Flyers just win games.
And it's a 4/4 flyer for 6, so it's not great, but it's like one of those.
Kind of
I'm gonna take it if I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you pay, right? Like, that's kind of what it is. Pretty sure there was one in Amonkhet that was like 6 mana 4/4 with cycle for 2. Like, this is about kind of what you pay.
Pretty much. Next one is I don't even know how to say this. Qual Sisma Behemoth. This is not much of a behemoth, to be honest. Casting cost is 1 red and 2 colours for a 5/5. Actually, it is a behemoth. Huh. It can't attack or block unless you pay 2. Ugh. That's garbage.
No, these things are good.
I have to sink mana into it every turn.
Yeah, but when you don't have anything else to do and you built up your board state, you have it's like a mana sink, man. 3 mana 5/5 that later on in the game you have to pay 2 to attack with. Yes, I'll take that. Like, not first, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll happily play something like this.
If I'm playing an aggro deck, I'd probably play it. Mostly because, like, you've run out of a hand real quick in aggro, but it's a 5/5, so if you can give it, like, retrace with the +2/+0 and can't be blocked, I mean, that's 7 damage, so...
Yeah, I'm laughing now.
Well, still me. Speaking of laughing, the next one is a Stormrider Rig. This is an equipment for 2 colours. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Stormrider Rig to it, and it has equip cost of 2.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just kind of like a nice way to just...
Free equip to creatures when you play it. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing special.
Now, what's our rare gonna be? Whoosh! Okay. Assault Formation. This is 1 green and 1 colours. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Doran the Siege Tower?
Doran the Siege Tower, yep.
1 green, target creature with Defender can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender. Am I right in saying this is actually something you would put in the Doran deck as well?
Yeah, redundancy. You need the redundancy. Yeah, you need the redundancy just because, like, creatures you control get +0/+1. I'm pretty sure for 3.
For 3,
yeah. The last ability on this card, and the fact that if you don't have Doran out, this is a 2 mana enchantment. It's pretty easy to tutor up an enchantment in green, white, and black, given that you're playing white and black in those 2 colours. So it's redundancy that I'm happy to have out on the battlefield. That's for sure.
Cool. Well, that's it. I don't know, what would be your pick one out of this pack?
It's pretty tough, right? Because Assault Formation obviously is not something that you can realistically play. You know, there's like, yes, I know there are some things in this pack that are like, you know, 2/4s and that kind of stuff, but that's in every pack, so you're not getting value there. Maybe the flyer, you know, just the fact that it is a 4/4 flyer, I guess it depends on whether you want to take the 3 mana 5/5 where you have to pay 2 each time to attack, or you want to take 4/4 in the air. But I know there is quite a lot of flying in this set, just obviously with the whole dragons theme.
Yeah.
So I know that all the monuments become flyers as well. So I feel like you haven't really locked yourself into anything in this pack. The Scion is at least colorless, so it can really fit into any deck, and I guess no deck really doesn't want a 6 mana 4/4 flyer. So probably the flyer, I think, is what I take in all honesty.
Absolutely, I agree. Definitely 100%. Okay, well that's going to be it for us here at AUStream. So do catch us at PAX. You'll catch us leading up to PAX anyway, because we'll have more podcasts, obviously, as more information comes to light about Magic and other card games and nerd activities. If you haven't watched Star Trek Beyond, go and watch it. The first 2 episodes are out on Netflix, and it's real good. I really enjoyed it. Sure. Are you a sci-fi fan?
I like Star Trek over... I mean, I like Stargate over Star Trek.
I love Stargate.
But then I like Star Wars over Stargate. So I go Wars, Trek... Wars, Gate, Trek is my order of preference. None of them are bad. Just like my personal preference is just Wars, Gate, Trek. I just liked kind of the...
I go Trek, Gate, Wars.
No, can't be with you on that one.
And number 1, engage.
Yeah, it's cool. It's it's a good show. I've heard a lot of really good things, and a lot of I'm surprised how good this actually is kind of comments. So when you get those comments, that always means that the show is probably worth checking out.
Yeah, it's really action packed. So that's what really sold me, because I was like, I don't know if you can ever top TNG. But this was so action packed. I was like, I'm actually enjoying it. I didn't really like the Klingons, and I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. Go and check out the stupid ass four-nosed Klingons. That's what I'm going to call them, because their noses just look fucking stupid. I'm going to say it.
What nose?
Just terrible noses. They just look horrible. If you want to catch up with us at PAX, we'll be in the tabletop area. It'll be Good Game branded, so it'll be somewhere near their booth. And if you want to give us some packs for Cracker Pack, we'll happily take them, or for Chaos Draft somewhere down the line. Chuck your boosters. Well, no, actually, I shouldn't say that, because somebody will actually literally chuck them at us. Hand your boosters to us. Make sure that you put your name and details on the back flap of your booster, so that we know who you are and we can give you shout outs. Other than that, I've been Chesh, and I've got nothing else. Coops?
No, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, a very exciting time at the moment with IXALAN right around the corner, and I can't wait to see where we go. It's like you said, it's an interesting draft and sealed format, and fingers crossed, more trophies for you in the near future, my friend.
More 3-0s. Well, that's it from us. Keep cracking packs.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
Much love.